back at it again. And, throughout this journey, out of all of the Democrats that I have checked out and seen and listened to and yada, 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 I think I like Tulsi the best. Who do y'all like the most? But we got a video with Tulsi and Joe Rogan, apparently speaking about the Kamala Harris situation that we checked out maybe a week and a half ago now. I think this is related to that. So with that being said, let's dive in.
Because both of you are veterans, and both of you, I'm sure, have things you agree on and disagree on. But you're in a really unique position here, you know. And since you've been on the podcast, a lot of things have happened. The big one is when you rightly called out Kamala Harris on her past and what she's done, and then it seemed like everybody's attacking you. It's like that opened up the floodgates, and then there was all these hit pieces on. And as an observer watching from the outside, I was like, "Wow, look at the machine work! Look at the attack dogs go! Like, look at this! Like this,
very transparent."
So if you're paying attention, the thing is, if you're on the outside and you watch it all happen, then you go, "Oh, I see what's going on." But if you just happen upon one of those articles, you can go, "Oh, she's an Assad supporter. Oh, she's a terrible person. Oh, she's a this and a that." And it was amazing. It was amazing to watch. Like I've never met anybody like you that's run for president. Like I knew you when people didn't know you that well, and then all of a sudden people know you way more, and now you're a kind of a household name. So to watch this process and to watch all the machinery sort of move in your direction and pew, 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 it's very interesting.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you?
I mean, that literally is our challenge here is we are up against the most powerful overall political machine. When you look at this machine that's revved up their engines to try to define me as something that casts suspicion or doubts or whatever in people's minds.
And that's crazy because she's a Democrat. So why would the machine be working against her? She's on their side, and I put air quotations because we're all on the same side technically, but you get what I mean as far as, Republicans and Democrats go. You would think that the machine would say, hey, you know what? Maybe she is a better candidate than Kamala. So let's push her out there. But no, it went after her, which is kind of weird. That's crazy. I thought the machine only went after Republicans. No, it goes after Democrats too, which is crazy. It's weird. Pushing information that isn't true or all of these different things. And I think there's a few reasons for it. Our challenge is, we are battling the political establishment in Washington. And it's because I'm telling the truth. It's because I'm challenging the status quo that they represent and that they've profited off for a very long time. So, my campaign, we don't take any contributions from PACs or lobbyists, fueled completely by contributions from individual people. Okay. There it is. Dollars and cents. You start getting in between people's money, things ain't gonna be funny, okay? So yeah, there it is. She was calling them out on their BS, Nancy Pelosi. It should even be possible she should be worth over $100 million on the salary that she has. Like, come on, let's be real. Could you become wealthy? Yes, but over $100 million? I think not. People saw that she was going to expose them. They had to stop it. Even though she's on their side, she was going to call them out on their BS, which is the way that it should be. I don't care, Republican or Democrat. If you do some BS, you should be called out for it. But she got between people's money, so.
And they are outspending us by many, many multiples, where we need help to challenge their narrative with the truth, telling me, hey, this is who I am. This is why I'm running for president. This is the experience and the background that I bring to this job. We've got to be able to bypass that mainstream corporate media and just go directly to voters.
And what does the experience of being attacked feel like?
God, I feel like I'm used to it. So it's just like it's nothing that I've ever really taken personally, because I understand the situation. You know, I understand that, you know, whatever the smears are, however radical they are, you know, it shows me that they feel threatened and they are concerned about.
She's got a great point. Because the machine is going after her, it lets her know that they feel like she's a serious threat to them. It means she's doing the right thing. Great point. Great point.
Both the unifying message that I'm bringing, because we have Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Independents who are joining this coalition that is fueling our campaign, and it's a campaign of by and for the people, and one that's actually speaking the truth, that's calling for an end to these regime change wars, calling for, you know, a de-escalation of tensions between the United States and other nuclear armed countries, an end to this new Cold War, nuclear arms race. Actually, hey, let's focus our limited taxpayer dollars on actually serving the needs of our people. That's really the message that we're bringing, and it scares the hell out of them.
What's interesting is, for me, again, as an outsider, it's a clear recognition that what they want versus what they say they want are two very different things.
Exactly.
The Democratic Party's always been like, we want a woman. Okay, I got you a woman. How about a woman that's a veteran? Check. How about a woman that's a congressman? How about that? Congresswoman, veteran, minority from Hawaii, all these positives. They're trying to dig up dirt on you. They don't have anything. They should be behind you. They should have wind in your sails. But no.
And the other thing they're saying is that, you know, in order for Democrat to beat Donald Trump in 2020, you're going to have to be able to take Trump voters away from him. You're going to have to win over those independents who stayed home in 2016, or even some of those Democrats who voted for Trump because they feel like our party has left them behind. Guess what? Check, 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 check. We're doing all those things. And instead of saying, hey, this is really something that maybe we should get behind, instead they're saying, oh my gosh, there's something very suspicious and weird about her because she's actually stealing voters from Trump.
That's the big one, right?
Has there ever been someone in your position that's gotten caught in such a crossfire? Like, to be taking this much heat from the party that you're, you know, trying to represent it seems, I don't remember this happening.
Well, they thought Harris had a real shot, and she sunk Harris's ship. That's exactly what happened. I mean, if you look at there's a direct correlation between where Harris was standing and where she's at now and that debate. It just, you put holes in her boat.
Which was...
And yet she's still the VP now, so it meant absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I was raising some very important issues related to criminal justice reform, you know, ending the federal marijuana prohibition, and essentially pointing to leadership, because we're all asking to lead this country and bring the experience that each of us has that's very distinct and different. And her whole campaign was based on the premise of being a prosecutor for the people, being the attorney general here in California. And I said, okay, you've said you're proud of your record. This is what you have done when you were in a position to make a positive change for the people. Instead, you chose to do otherwise. And I think that speaks louder than words.
When you had more bullets in the chamber, too, because there was other things you didn't even touch.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't really touch upon her saying to single mothers that she was going to prosecute them and lock them up if they didn't get their kids in school.
Laughing as she did so.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen her talk about that as if it's a good idea, that this was a good solution.
Yeah.
To scare single moms into with a fear of jail if their kid didn't go to school.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the challenge of this debate format that's so frustrating is, you know, you've got 60 to 75 seconds to get your point across, to be able to talk about, hey, here's my position, here's what I would do with, you know, North Korea, here's how I would deal with, you know, immigration reform in 60 seconds or less.
So very, very interesting situation there. And like Joe Rogan said, you would think Democrats would get behind her and not go after her because she sunk the ship, the proverbial ship of Kamala, right? Because she is a minority. She is a veteran. You know what I mean? And she obviously speaks well. You know, unlike Kamala these days, who just talks in circles every time I check out a video of her speaking, which is just absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's quite weird because she checked some of the boxes that, you know, Democrats like to check. Because a lot of the times it's not about, that I've seen personally, it's not about your credentials or what you've done. It's, you know, your gender and your ethnicity and yada, yada, yada. It's about a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter. And she checked some of those boxes. So that's quite weird. I would have assumed that they would have gotten behind her, but I guess not. Last thing would be, and I'll wrap this video up, would be, would you guys ever vote for someone like Tulsi Gabbard? Let me know in the comment section why or why not. I'd love to know, because from the little bit that I've seen from her, and we haven't checked out a whole lot, but from the little bit that I've seen from her, she seems like a pretty reasonable person. I don't think that she's any radical, you know, far left individual. I feel like she's closer to the center, and actually maybe that's what it is. She's not as radical as some of these other folks, and maybe that's why she was attacked. She didn't go, or wasn't willing to go as far as some of them are willing to go with some of this stuff, and she stayed closer to the center, and maybe that's what it is. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section, and like I said, let me know if you would actually vote for her. Why or why not? Talk to me. Like I said, I've got a limited experience with Tulsi, so maybe there's, you know, some information about her that I'm not privy to. If there is, let me know in the comment section. But like I said, from the little bit that I've seen, she seems pretty reasonable. Talk to me in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.